Alright, third one in the election prediction blitz for March. The Senate. At the moment, 49 to 44 for the Republicans, with 7 toss-up states at the moment registered. So Texas is considered to be a toss-up because last time around polling had Cruz up only by 2 points. Now, that is about his victory margin in the case of him against Francis. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go alphabetically for these Senate results. So we have Arizona. Sinema, she has filed paperwork. However, there's not really any indication that she's actually running. When it comes to filing for signatures and all that stuff, she basically is trailing significantly. So Gallego is the Democrat candidate, and the Republicans, essentially it's Carrie Lake has the nomination. So Lake against Gallego, and I'm gonna do this real quick for you guys. So blank, I just opened Excel real quick for you guys. Here you go. Let's just take 15. Alright, so polling. Just Lake and Gallego. We're going to take only polling from the new year. So that's 42, 46, 5, and that's it. So aggregate speaking, it would be Gallego plus 2. But this is basically with Emerson College and Noble Insights, and it probably looks like a significant overestimation of Gallego's support. Definitely falls outside the line. Or significant underestimation of Lake's support. Now, adding Sinema into the mix would mean the top 5. So those ones, 35, 40, 31, 30, and 37. There you go. So, then it becomes Gallego plus 1. So definitely keeping Sinema in the race is better for Lake. But however, it's at the moment a D plus 1, D plus 2 race. Something in that order of magnitude. I'm just going to keep the Excel in line for next states as well. So, having said that, the 2020 election, so you had Kelly against Masters, and you had Biden performing at slightly above 49%. Kelly got 51%, so that's overperforming of 2, to basically Trump at 49 and Masters at 47, I believe. Or 46. I think it was 46. Having said that, it essentially means that the Democrat Senate candidate overperforms Biden by 2 points. Now, why do I say that? I don't need that one. I need a presidential election. At the moment, Arizona, I believe, is aggregate, oh yeah, Trump plus 5. That would mean that with Trump performing at 5 points over Biden, it would mean that this is a narrow Republican seat, which would mean Lake plus 2, somewhere in that range. So at the moment, I am going to give it to Gallego, however, by tilt margin. And as you know, with any of my prediction, anything that's tilt can go either way. So that's Arizona. Next up, California. It is a safe Democrat seat. However, I wanted to discuss this a little bit because it's a jungle primary system. So, for the Democrat side, it is essentially a race between Adam Schiff and Katie Porter. And for the Republicans, you have Steve Garvey in the mix, who is actually winning a lot of vote and support. As a result, there would be a lot of issues here. Now, the Democratic Party had a vote regarding the support of who gets the endorsement. It was essentially a toss-up between Lee and Schiff, but because no one got 16%, there's no endorsement. So, funny part about this stuff, so the Republican Party supports Eric Early, but the Republican people support Garvey. So essentially this is a moment of the people uprising against the party, which is common in California. And in the case of California politics, especially in the Republican Party, you're only going to get a leg up if you are actually permitted by the party to go up. Now, at the moment it appears that it's going to be a general election between Schiff and Garvey, and in which that particular case, it is very obviously going to be that Adam Schiff is going to win. Now, that is extremely problematic in my opinion. Simply put, because Adam Schiff has some illicit allegations against him of the Jeffrey Epstein variety. Which I guess it would make sense for California to nominate someone who is obviously a child diddler, but it's not really something that I would like to see. Now, in the case that magically Katie Porter does get in, it becomes a toss-up between the two, and I would still expect Schiff to come out on top. So I just wanted to discuss that. California, I believe that I'm going to check, because the primary is... When is it? Final months. I believe it's on Super Tuesday that they have the primary as election. When it's had. I'll just check it real quick. It should be in the article. Stupid thing, so... Yeah, just give me the fucking date. Yeah, you don't want to give the date. Okay, fine. Whatever. I believe it's on Super Tuesday that you have the primary. So we'll see. Next up, Florida. I just want to quickly discuss this because polling and all that stuff. So Rick Scott, he's obviously going to get the nomination for the Republicans. For the Democrats, it appears that it's going to be Debbie Powell that he's running against. Now, regarding polling, toss-up status, but I don't believe it's going to be close, especially since Trump is leading Florida by close to 10 points. There's no particular reason for the gubernatorial election or the Senate election to be trailing Trump by 10 points. There's no reason. So I'm going to keep Florida as a likely Republican state as the moment. And maybe I can find some more reliable source than fucking Wikipedia, of course. Michigan. Alyssa Slotkin, obviously going to get the nomination. And in the case of Republicans, we have an even bigger clusterfuck, because now Justin Amash joined the mix, which is a former Republican, then Independent, then Libertarian, then Republican. Yeah, it's absolute clusterfuck. So, essentially this race is between Amash, Meyer, and Rogers. All three of them were former congressmen. With James Craig dropping out, it is obvious that it's one of those three. And at the moment, Rogers is leading. So that is what it appears to be. So Rogers against Slotkin. It's about D+1, maybe D+2. We don't know anything about Amash, but I definitely am certain that Amash is going to do worse than Rogers. At the moment, I'm making it a lean Democrat state. Next state, Montana. So, briefly, well, of course, Tester is the one candidate. Briefly, we had Matt Rosendale running. and about 2 days. So then he decided to run for re-election. So that's a little strange behavior of Matt Rosendale. You probably saw the internal polling and noticed that it wasn't going to be really good for him. As you can see here, it's about trailing Sheehy by 20 points. So we have Brad Johnson, Tim Sheehy, and Charles Child. Obviously, it's going to be Sheehy. And now we have Sheehy against Tester, and it's at the moment looks to be a likely Republican seat or a likely Democrat. However, this is also a particular state where Trump is going to win by about 15 to 20 points statewide, and I see no particular reason in why John Tester would overperform Biden by 15 points. Is he going to get high 40s? Yes. Is it going to be more than Sheehy? I don't think so. Tilts Republican at the moment, which means it can go either way. Nevada. Jackie Rosen easily wins re-nomination, and there's not really any challenge to her. And on the other side we have Sam Brown against Jim Marchant. And of course the Rhinos all support Sam Brown, including the Koch brothers. And then the outstanding Americans like Michael Flynn and Paul Gosar, they support Marchant. Not unbiased here, no. I support Marchant, but it's probably going to be Brown. And in the case of Rosen against Brown, it's essentially a toss-up. I'm going to put it as tilt Democrat at the moment. And I'll move on to Ohio. Sherrod Brown, easy renomination. He's not even being challenged. Republicans, basically it is Dolan against LaRose against Moreno, and whoever wins has quite a challenge. So at the moment Moreno is leading by about 10 points in primary, which is good because he's the best shot of winning. Easily put. Matt Dolan is basically your typical Cleveland Republican, so it's more of a metropolitan Republican, kind of like a Rhino. That's not really getting any excitement in the rurals, which you need in order to win this election. If you want to win, you need Eastern Ohio, and particularly the entire valley on the eastern side. So that would be the 6th district. You need to win that. I don't think Dolan has the chops to win that district, so having said that, if it's Brown against Dolan, for any reason, lean Democrat. Brown against LaRose, tilt Democrat. And in the case of Moreno, I'm just going to say it. This is my hot take for this video. Tilt Republican. Because I believe it's going to be Moreno anyway. Next up, Texas. No, it's Pennsylvania. There's Texas. Pennsylvania can be really short. Bob Casey, unopposed. David McCormick, essentially unopposed. McCormick is trailing by 10 points on average. I'm going to keep it as likely. And there will not be any template updates for this video, as you can see. I believe. Texas. Cruz. The primary is Tuesday. So that's something you need to keep into mind. And he isn't really giving any opposition. For the Democrats, it's essentially all red against Gutierrez. And it's a slight lead for all red. However, there's about a third of the vote that's unaccounted for, so it can go swing either way. So it's one of the two that gets the nomination. In the case of Cruz against all red, which is appearing to be the more likely matchup, the average, and we're just going to do the final month of polling, or ever since the new year. So Cruz, all red. 41, 46, just those. I shouldn't have deleted the averages. There you go. Cruz plus 5 at the moment. which means I'm going to put it back as likely, and I'm going to update the template later on to make it a likely Republican seat as well for this one. So that's the moment for this race. Cruz better not take this one for granted, because he is obviously getting the nomination and he should be campaigning. Final one is Wisconsin, and we already see we have Republicans at 52 seats. Baldwin is running unopposed, and for the Republicans you have Eric Hovde, Stacey Klein, and Patrick Wick. I don't think Reva Duran is actually polling any significant marks. Clark, he is still not deciding. That's probably next month incoming. And he has a lot of skeletons in his closet, so you better not get this guy announcing, because it's going to be an easy Democrat victory. Without that, Gallagher is retiring. He's not running for the Senate. Neither are anything else. I would have liked Scott Walker to run. However, he chose not to. That's fine. I think Hovde is going to get the nomination. In which particular case, Baldwin appears to be at +7. However, Baldwin is vulnerable. For now, lean Democrat. That's the state of the Senate at the moment. So Republicans do get the Senate majority, and with my previous video regarding the House, they also get the House majority. However, both majorities rather slim. Thank you kindly for watching. See you next time. Cheers.